Well, we're into our second week of our prayer and fasting, and I pray that God has been meeting you through our corporate times together and also individually. In our first week, we've been looking at loving the Lord our God with all our heart, our mind, our soul. And this second week, we're moving on to the other half of that famous verse, loving your neighbour as yourself, and you can find it in Luke 10:27. And that comes at the start of the parable of the Good Samaritan. And it starts with a question after that, which says, who is my neighbour? And we know it's not just our physical neighbours, but anybody that God brings across our path. And in the parable itself, we have a number of people. And we have the guy who was robbed. And then we have various people who happen to be coming past the same way. We have the priest and the Levite. Now, they both passed by for their own various reasons and didn't stop. But then there was the Samaritan who did and took care of the man. And the conclusion of the parable was that it was the Samaritan who was the true neighbour, because he stopped and he cared. He did what was needed to help. He showed love. And don't forget, of course, there was also the innkeeper. Now, I want you to stop and think, which one of these people do you most identify with? How are you when you come across someone in need? It's a challenge, isn't it, to actually put aside our own agendas and actually help other people. There can be all sorts of things that stop us. Busyness. We're on a mission for the day, and that would actually make us late. Sometimes it can be fear. Who is this person, this stranger? I don't feel comfortable around them. Sometimes it can come at personal cost, like the Samaritan. He paid for the fee for him to be looked after. Sometimes it could be pride, or he might be judging the person. Sometimes we might feel we've got nothing to give. Or it might be past failure that is stopping us from helping somebody. Whatever it might be, whatever God is speaking to you about at this time, let's confess that to him. And let's ask him to fill us once again with his love, that we might love our neighbour as ourselves. God bless you over this second week of the prayer and fasting, and may God continue to speak to us all. Amen.